yourself.
There's more? I can't eat all this.
Don't sweat it, Chairman. Us young folks can handle this chow.
Oh, definitely. My stomach's a bottomless pit. Bon appetit.
Hell yeah!
We got so focused on our food that we forgot to actually discuss anything. Oh, it is damn good.
Yeah. We have to get down to business. Guess I'm kicking us off. This is Kume-kun, leader of Bleach Japan's Yokohama branch. He's going to run for this district's representative seat in the next election. Now, what you gotta understand about this kid is he's just step one of Ryo Aoki's scheme to turn Ijincho into his personal political machine.
Zhao's correct. Kume is just one step. Aoki's other steps include a huge number of Bleach Japan candidates all over the country.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
And the dam is broken. There's no stopping it now. Governor Aoki's too popular. There's no one who can stand up to him.
So you think Kume's win is a done deal, Chairman Hoshino?
Pretty much. Kume has Aoki's broad public adoration at his back. Throwing Aoki's fundraising and media savviness. Kume's got a very real shot at this.
I'd say so. He wants Ijincho so bad, it's gotten personal for him. Since it was Ogikubo's kingdom before, seizing it makes Aoki the new heir apparent. That's gotta be what he's thinking.
Yes. I'd venture to say that even if the Citizens' Liberal Party wins every other district, he won't be satisfied unless he wins this one. He's gonna throw everything he's got at this contest.
Definitely.
Well, I'm not gonna roll over and just take it. Anybody with me?
With you on what?
On taking this dude down a peg. I'm sick of getting our asses kicked.
We all are, but...
We can't just let him win. We need to do something. I mean, Bleach Japan is in bed with the Omi Alliance. Isn't that fucked up? It's, you know, hypocritical. They go around preaching about how gray zones need to go, acting like they're heroes or something. Meanwhile, they team up with gangsters to take over Japan, and everyone just claps for them?
Thing is, Kasuga, these gangsters have a governor on their side. They're untouchable.
Are you guys even hearing yourselves right now? What's gotten into you? The Ijin 3 used to protect the weak and vulnerable in this town. Granted, you did it by running a huge scam, so I'm not gonna give you too much credit. But after everything the city's given you, don't you feel like you owe something to it? Look, I know none of you guys did what you did just for the money. Ogikubo was the one raking in all the dirty riches. You guys wanted to stop a war from destroying this town. And if you don't stand up now, you're basically abandoning the Ijin 3's purpose. It's a disgrace.
You sure you want to finish that thought?
Yeah, dial it down, or I'll set you straight.
Well, I, for one, agree with him.
You do?
Everything you said is true. We all lived in the gray zones, and sure, that ain't something to be proud of. But at least we could be proud of putting food on the tables of our men and their families. You're with me on that, at least, right, Samui? If we roll over, we will be throwing away everything we've ever worked for.
Zhao.
No, it's true. And remember, I left the Liumeng in your hands. I trusted you to consider what my men need. This is shaping up to be your first job as their new boss. Come on, Samui.
Damn it. Fine.
Chairman Hoshino, you got any wisdom of your own to lend us?
Well, I do understand the need to be fair to the city. I'll help. And to think, I only came here for the food. Didn't expect to get roped into some noble last stand.
You know what they say. There's no such thing as a free lunch.
True that. Now let's go take care of Kume.
I have to admit, I will enjoy knocking that little punk off his pedestal. So what's a move?
Good question. We need to strike, but how?
Don't you think it's obvious?
No? What?
We need to ruin the young master's reputation.
Meaning?
We gotta make sure Kume loses the election.
How do you propose we do that?
That part I hadn't really figured out. But once we do, it'll be like kicking Aoki right in the face.
I don't see how it's feasible.
I mean, we could maim him. If he's too injured, he'd have to pull out of the race, and then...
You wanna kill him?
Well, only if he resists.
We can't do that. If he dies, they'll just replace him with some other tool. I'm sure they've got backup candidates waiting in the wings.
Hey, winning. That's how we do it. We just win it ourselves.
Huh?
We win the election with our own candidate. Put someone up who can get more votes than Kume. There's gotta be someone out there who can do it.
Yes, probably. But how do we figure out who this someone is? We're not political consultants.
Well, we should remember the votes for Kume aren't really for him in the first place. They're votes for Aoki.
Good point. Can you think of anyone who fits the bill, Chairman Hoshino?
Unfortunately, I can't say I do. Ogi Kubo was an incumbent here for many years, with no opponents who posed any real threat. The only people who ever ran against him just did so as a formality.
Hey, you seem to know a lot about it. Why don't you run?
Excuse me?
Yeah, people know who you are. You've got charisma.
No Yakuza's gonna win an election, even in the Jincho. If he did, I'd consider the world doomed.
Seriously.
But I could try to recruit someone who would have a chance in the race.
That's a start.
I hope you're not expecting me to shoulder this burden alone, though.
What do you mean?
Elections cost money, a lot of money. If I find a candidate, who's footing the bill for the campaign?
I'll tell you right now, my people don't have a single yen to spare.
Right, so, how much is it exactly?
I'm willing to chip in some myself, but I'll need an additional 3 million yen cash just to register.
3 million? You need that much?
At a minimum. If you can't scrape that amount together, this plan is dead in the water.
I hate to say it, but he's right. Can you do it, Kasuga-kun?
You're gonna be in a world of hurt.
I got this.
I'm not backing down.
Eat this! You think you can
You're
win?
gonna get dumped.
Come on
I'm not backing down. Right.
You're in it now.
Check this out. You're gonna be in a world.
Come here! Take that best shot! Yakuza! You're in it now! Yakuza! Stomach it! Make it work!
You're gonna get stomped.
Out of my way! I got this! Cool!
I'm not backing down.
Don't get cocky!
You're gonna be in a world of hurt.
Check this out! I'm going presidential on you!
Here we go.
Get alive over here!
Try this on for size. Let's do this together. I'm ready now. You're gonna get stomped.
Let's go! Alright, boy, you're in it now! Let's go!
You're gonna be in a world of hurt.
Let's go!
Show for that.
I'm over here!
I'm not
I'll give you some Yeah! Don't get cocky! Come on now! I'll show you what playing about! I got this! Take your best shot!
this out. This is my best.
Come on! Come up! Going in!
Just
Can I
stand
not?
there.
Yeah!
You're gonna be in a world of hurt.
Oh yeah?
Let's see.
You wanna
Still
go?
here.
Here we go.
You're in it now!
Try this on for size. Give it your all, everyone. This ought to help.
Get it! Let's go! Let's go!
Just gonna stand there?
Yeah! Check this out! Get alive! Got something for you! Warida! Hey!
On it.
Let's go! Out of my way! Yes! Next time.
Nice. Irashai. Arigato.
ありがとうございました。
Hmm?
Hey, hold on, Ichiban. What's all this about going to Osaka?
Turns out Arakawa-san needs some help. My help. Mitsu just called me and said Arakawa-san's already on his way to Sotenbori.
But why Osaka?
I don't know. I didn't bother to ask.
You realize Sotenbori is where the Omi Alliance is headquartered. You'll be screwed if your cover gets blown. Think about that, would you?
All I need to think about is that Arakawa-san said he needs me. He's going to Osaka, so I'm going to Osaka. I don't care what anyone says about it.
He gets like this, Hidachi-san.
Then there's no point stopping him, is there? Loyalty is admirable, but jeez.
Ichiban, what about Ijincho? The election's coming up. We helped you make all that money to fight Ryo Aoki. Now you're just gonna leave us hanging?
Not at all. We got the 3 million yen we needed. And I'm gonna go give it to the Seiryu clan right now.
We may have the money, but that hasn't solved our lack of a candidate. Certainly a necessary element of the plan.
Didn't Chairman Hoshino say he'd take care of it? Don't worry. He's the kind of guy who keeps his word. If we give him the cash, he'll do the rest.
If you say so. Safe travels, then.
Hey, don't encourage him to do such dangerous things. Kasuga, if you really are leaving, we're coming with you.
Sounds good to me. I've never been to Osaka.
Guys, I'm not going there as a tourist. I'm going straight into the Lion's Den. Assuming Adachi-san is right and that's where the Yomi home base is. You guys don't need to get involved. This is personal for me.
Come on, man. After all we've been through, aren't we friends?
Of course. I'm saying this because we're friends. If something happens to me out there, you gotta finish what we started.
Still sounds like a load of crap to me.
Well, think what you want. But we got the 3 million yen, and I'm taking it to Hoshino. I'll see all of you around. Yo, Sachan.
Oh, Ichiban. Perfect timing. Listen to this.
What's up? Oh, Is it about Nanoha?
Yeah. I worked up the courage to call her and asked if she'd been caught up with any bad guys lately.
And how'd that go?
Well...
Not good, huh? Gotta say, I wouldn't have started with the bad guys line.
I just couldn't find the right thing to say.
Yeah, I know it's hard. But all that matters is getting Nanoha away from that dirtbag.
I don't know. We'd been apart for so many years, I was probably way out of line to tell her to break up with her boyfriend. I'm pretty sure she wouldn't even take my calls if she knew I'd been checking up on her this entire time. But at least she still doesn't realize I know about her being employed at a soapland. She can never find out, not ever. I'll pretend not to know for the rest of our lives if I have to. But how do I help her without letting on what I know? If I do nothing, Katsuragawa might bankrupt her and she'll end up right back at the soapland. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? I'm freaking out!
Well, I guess I'll just have to use my ace in the hole.
Huh? You've had a plan this whole time?
I sure do. You introduce Nanoha to a guy who's better than her boyfriend. Then she'll drop that loser like a rock.
No way. Her heart is a complete mystery. I mean, we're talking about a woman who fell in love with Katsuragawa.
Hear me out. You bring in a shining stud that makes all the other dudes look like ass. I bet he'll catch her eye.
Okay, but you're forgetting I don't know any guys like that. Where do I find a stud?
Come on. I'm sure he's closer than you think.
Where?
You're looking at him.
You think you're the dreamy type, Ichiban? That's even funnier than your hair.
I wasn't joking.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Whew. If it helps, I definitely feel more cheerful about this now.
Good shit then.
Okay, what else can we do? There has to be something.
Well, if you really don't think we can convince Nanoha to dump him, I don't know. Wait, we've been looking at this all wrong. We need to get Katsuragawa to stay away from Nanoha, not the other way around.
How are you gonna do that? Beat him up and run him out of town?
If he were the kind of guy to give up just like that, sure. But he probably isn't. Especially now that he knows Nanoha's willing to be his piggy bank. If we screw this up, he might even take her with him when he bails.
I can't let that happen.
I think what we gotta do is crush his pride. Like, get Nanoha to break up with him without shedding a single tear. As if he's nothing to her.
And how do we do that?
It's so obvious, Sachan. Haven't you caught on yet?
To what?
You pretend to be Nanoha and break up with them. Use the twin angle to your advantage. Yeah, march in and tell Katsuragawa you never want to see him again. I'll stand there and look intimidating while you give him the boot. That'll have him running.
I see. That might actually work.
Let's do it. All we need is to find out where Katsuragawa's hanging out. Your employees could probably do that, right?
No problem. I'll tell the girls to start looking for him right away.
Great. We wait for their word, and we move in for the kill. It'll go fine. I'll be right there with you to make sure he doesn't give you trouble.
It's a date. Good thinking today, Ichiban. I'll go tell the girls to start asking around.
She and her sister are a handful. And it feels like we're finally gonna wrap this up. You drinking, Namba?
Oh, Ichiban. Glad you're here. We need to talk.
We do? Is it something serious?
Look, I need to tell you I'm sorry. For lying.
You mean about chasing the counterfeit bill?
Yeah. Think you can forgive me?
Come on, you know we're past that. What's important is your brother got released. All's well that ends well, right? That said, maybe now's a good time to tell me if there's any other holes in your story. You really were a nurse at some point, right?
Well, of course I was a nurse. How else could I have brought you back from the brink of death?
Good point. Then, what about the part where you sold hospital meds? Didn't you say that's how you got your nursing license revoked?
Well, that's the short version, but it's more complicated, actually.
What do you mean?
You'll be the first person I've ever told this to, so I hope you plan on sitting for a while.
Yeah, man, I'm all ears.
Back in elementary school, I read about Florence Nightingale. That's when I knew I was meant to be a nurse. Helping the sick, people being grateful for it, it's all I ever wanted in life. But when I finally put on my scrubs, it was different. Endless late shifts, difficult patients, never a word of thanks. Eventually, I just stopped caring. Little by little, I started cutting corners any way I could. I'd pretend not to hear the intercom, and instead, I'd go doze off somewhere. By the time I hit 40, I had no idea why I ever went into the field. But then one day, this new girl named Mizue showed up. And in her introduction, she brought up who else but Nightingale.
Just like you, huh?
We had the same role model, but she still had her spirit. She would rush toward every patient in the ward, never missed a beat. On top of that, she always had the sweetest smile.
So, you had a thing for her?
Are you kidding me? She was 23 and a looker, and I was just a middle-aged loser.
So what? You totally look younger than you are.
You think so?
For sure! If you told me you were in your 20s, or hell, your teens, I'd believe it.
God damn it, Ichiban.
Sorry.
That was a good one, though. You got me.
Anyway, back to Mizue-chan. What happened?
No, that's right. Whenever I saw her working, I could feel my old self coming back. That young version of me, who used to give it his all.
Well, that's a good sign.
If only I had half her stamina and wasn't twice her age. Anyway, one night I was a little sleepier than usual, so I went out to the back lawn, thinking maybe I could sneak in a nap. And suddenly, I heard a noise from behind. I turned around to find the storeroom we keep the medicine in wide open, and Mizue-chan was walking out alone.
Was she restocking? I mean, if you were slacking off, she was probably having to bust her ass.
Well, that's the thing. In our hospital, only the pharmacists have access to the storeroom. Mizue-chan and I were just nurses. We didn't even need to go in there.
Then what was she doing?
Well, at the time, there was a rumor floating around the hospital.
Uh-oh.
Medicine would keep disappearing. The list never matched the inventory. According to the rumors, someone was swiping medicine and selling it. Illegally.
No way. And that was Mizue-chan?
It was. As my eyes adjusted, I could clearly see her arms were full of medicine boxes.
But why would she need to sell medicine?
From what I heard, her parents were under a mountain of debt. So, to lighten some of their load, Mizue-chan was paying everything she could. But a single nurse's salary wouldn't get them out of the hole. No way.
So she was stealing the meds to do it?
Yep. And I was the sole eyewitness. Thing is, Mizue-chan never noticed me there. Now, if it was you, Ichiban, what would you have done?
Well, calling her out on it would seem to be the right thing to do. But I guess she wasn't stealing it just to be a criminal, huh?
Not in the slightest. She was only doing it for her family. I mean, yeah, she was breaking the law, but she wasn't trying to hurt anyone.
Plus, getting caught would cost her her job. Then the debt would only have gotten worse. With all that in mind, I'd say it's a pretty tough call to make.
Huh. Now you're on the same page I was. Anyway, in the end, all I could do was watch her walk away without saying a word. If there ever was a criminal who deserved a free pass, it was Mizue-chan. That was what I thought at the time, so I turned a blind eye.
And what happened after that?
It wasn't long before Mizue-chan's actions caught up with her. The hospital director decided to get the police involved and started gathering evidence.
He waited that long to take action?
Well, he was trying to resolve it internally, being that the hospital's reputation was at stake. I guess he got sick of having a thief under his nose, so he escalated it to the next logical step.
But if the cops caught Mizue-chan stealing, that'd be bad news.
She'd have a police record, and her name in all the papers. To be honest, it was only a matter of time. She had her whole life ahead of her. Now, how could that happen to someone so young? And on the other hand, you've got me. A guy who totally burned out. A guy who couldn't be further from Florence Nightingale. Better a saint like Mizue-chan stay at the hospital than a sack of shit like me, wouldn't you say?
Namba? Are you telling me you...
Yeah. I went up and confessed to the whole thing. Stealing, selling, and all.
And that's how you lost your nursing license?
Yep. No, and I got fired too. Naturally.
Man, you went all out for that girl. Did she ever contact you after that? Even a call or a letter?
Not that I'm aware. In a matter of hours, I was out of a job and out on the streets.
You regret any of it?
Well, my brother disappeared not long after, so even if I didn't get canned, I would have quit on my own anyway. So, no, to answer your question. Though I do have to admit, I would like to see Mizue-chan off when she goes overseas.
She's going overseas?
Yeah. She always dreamed of running off to some developing country where they really need medical professionals.
She took that Nightingale shit seriously.
Our hospital had an international dispatch program, available to staff nurses with at least 3 years tenure. This year would be Mizue-chan's third, and I know she would take advantage of it.
Well, in that case, why not go say farewell?
If only I could. For starters, I don't even know when she leaves.
Maybe if you ask one of your old nurse buddies, they'll tell you.
Don't be ridiculous. I'm the little rat who stole the medicine, if you forgot that detail. They want nothing to do with me.
Well, hello, boys. Don't worry, the life of the party's here. Care to bring me up to speed?
Oh, Sachan. Wait, are you drunk?
I think you're drunk. Now, fill me in, if you please.
Oh, Namba here was going off on one of his hobo horror stories again.
Hobo horror stories?
Well, no house means no toilet, right? Care to guess what he had to do when he had the shits?
Yeah, I'd rather not. And here I was, thinking I'd get actual substance out of two grown men instead of literal crap.
Thanks for covering for me.
I got you, man.
I don't mind if we let Sayoko know at some point, but preferably not when she's plastered.
Yeah, no kidding. Dachi-san, what's up with the suit?
Oh, don't you remember? We're doing that out-of-court settlement.
Oh, yeah, Takashi-kun scraped that guy's bumper. And he demanded Takashi-kun pay him 1,000,000 yen, so you decided to meet with the guy.
Hoping it's just a damn con man.
Wearing a suit to the settlement, huh? You really care about this kid, Itachi-san.
Well, there's one more reason I was thinking I should look sharp today. You know how I sent a letter to Takashi asking for the contact info of the car owner? Takashi wrote back and said he wanted to be there when I meet the guy. Guess he finally wants to see his daddy longlegs in person. After 20 years of being sent money and all. You know, that whole time I came up with excuses to never meet Takashi. I just sent him letters.
So Takashi-kun's gonna meet Yamada-san for the first time today?
Yeah. I figured the least I could do is look the way a big shot should.
Except, even though it is a suit, it's pretty plain for a rich guy, ain't it?
Oh, give me a break, man. This is all I had. Anyway, I explained what's gonna go down here to the staff, so we're good on that front. Only thing left for me to ask is if, you're willing to stay and back me up, Kasuga.
Why me?
Well, a real daddy longlegs would have a lackey with him, don't you think?
Yeah, I guess.
Come on, don't make me deal with this asshole and the kid all by myself. Please, man.
Fine. But when you interviewed Takashi 20 years ago, it was in person, right? What if he remembers your face?
He was 5 years old at the time. No way he would remember me. Especially now that I probably look like his damn grandpa.
Here's hoping.
Excuse me, is Yamada-san here?
Are you Takashi?
Yes, I am.
Wow. Look at you, all grown up.
What?
Oh, no. It's just, I still imagine you the way I did when we first started writing each other 20 years ago. I'm Yamada.
We finally meet Yamada-san. Thank you so much for supporting me all this time.
Oh, I just enjoy lending a hand to promising kids like you. That's what a philanthropist does.
So, why are we meeting here? What is this place?
No, it's a bar I run as a hobby. I'm a big jazz guy.
So you're also a patron of the arts. Amazing. And who are you?
I'm just one of Yamada-san's lackeys.
Lackeys?
Yeah, you know, I follow him around.
You... Is that a job?
Yeah, of course it is. A guy needs an entourage, right?
He misspoke. Everyone knows businessmen don't have lackeys. He's my secretary. My joke-loving secretary.
Oh, okay. Definitely an interesting guy.
Thanks. Nice to meet you. Now, Takashi-kun, where's the owner of this car you scraped?
His name is Hasegawa-san. He should be here soon. Oh, there he is.
Asking me to come all the way out here to a dive like this? All I can say is you better have my money.
There's a few things I'd like to ask you first, Hasegawa-san.
Oh, you must be Daddy Longlegs. What do you want?
Why are you demanding $1 million for a scratch bumper?
Because this is no ordinary car.
Oh, is that right?
I don't know much about cars, but it looked pretty ordinary to me.
It may look like a typical sedan, but it's actually a top-of-the-line British luxury car. And now I have to send it back to England for repairs.
Right. Mind telling us how the accident went down?
Well, I was just sitting there, waiting for the signal, and this kid here, barely paying attention to what he's doing, of course, just pulls up right next to me on his bike. That's when his pedals scraped up against my bumper.
Takashi-kun, does all of that sound right to you?
I guess. It didn't feel like I hit anything. I mean, I felt the hem of my pants sliding along something, but...
Ha! I wish it'd been the hem of your pants! When I heard the scraping sound, I looked over just in time to see your pedal gouging the hell out of my paint job!
Really? Well, that's funny.
What is?
If it was a regular sedan, all you'd be able to see from the driver's seat would be the hood. No way you'd see the bumper down below.
Oh, in my car, you can see it. Steering wheel's on the left, you know. You obviously don't know much about foreign luxury cars.
On the left, huh? That's even funnier. Didn't you say the car was from England? Did you know British and Japanese cars both have the wheel on the right?
You might want to come clean before you dig yourself a deeper hole. I say the mark on the bumper was already there, and the car's about as British as me.
So what'll it be? Admit you were trying to pull a fast one and we'll let you go. But if you decide you want to keep bitching over nothing, then my secretary here will have to intervene.
By the way, I'm not just Yamada-sama's secretary. I'm also his bodyguard.
Ah, fuck!
So, it really was all a scam.
And a shitty one at that.
Wait, Yamada-san, did you know it was a scam from the start?
More or less. 1 million ain't much to a guy like me, of course, but us rich folks don't like our money going to criminals. We gotta do our part, you know?
Wow, rich people are so cool.
That we are. So, how about that bar exam, Takashi? Think you'll pass this year?
Well, actually, I found out I didn't.
Oh. That's a shame.
But you know, the average age of the people who do pass is 29. So I figure as long as I pass it by then, I'm good.
Isn't that, 4 years from now?
Yeah, and when I do become a lawyer, you'll be the first to know, Yamada-san.
Ah, looking forward to it.
Thanks. I have some studying to do today, so I'm gonna get going.
Hang in there. 4 more years of sending money. Oh, man, that's gonna be tough.
Here's hoping it only takes 4 years.
Wait, what do you mean?
If he's getting caught up in a simple scam like this, how's he supposed to understand the finer points of law?
Hey now, don't be like that. No, he's just too honest, is all. And who knows, maybe he'll pass next year.
I sure hope so.
Well, either way, at least he bought my rich guy act.
Yeah, well, we can thank my little performance for that.
Your performance? I was the one with the starring role. If there... You know what? Whatever, man. Let's just celebrate the fact that we pulled it off.
Yeah, with the cheapest drinks money can buy.
Hello, Kasuga-san. I must say this place is quite comfortable.
Yeah, ain't it? Also, seriously, man, how's a guy make drinking alone look so cool? Guess it's easy when you're as handsome as you.
That's kind of you to say. Why don't you let me buy you a drink?
Yo, for real? Hey, now you're speaking my language, man.
You certainly are a mysterious one, Kasuga-san. Sungri speaks highly of you as well. I dare say it makes me jealous.
Oh, come on. Speaking of, have you been with her long? You've got this butler and lady of the house thing going on.
It's only been 3 years since I was brought into the Komijul. I can't say it's been long.
No shit.
Up until then, I was with a group called the Jingon Mafia. I was their leader's body double.
Body double? You mean like a decoy? Just like the real thing?
Indeed. If my master was ever targeted by our enemies, I was to be killed in his place. That was my duty.
I didn't figure people still did that kind of stuff. Wait, does that mean your face is...
An imitation, yes. What you see is a result of large-scale plastic surgery. But I'll have you know my previous face was rather handsome as well. A shame not a single picture of it exists anymore.
Really? Out the window then, huh?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
So that means Junki Han isn't your real name either, right? What's your real name then?
Surely we're not that close yet, are we?
Come on. First step in becoming friends is calling each other by name, right?
Well, isn't this awkward? I'm afraid I'm the type to want a bit more distance with people.
That how it was with the Jingon Mafia? From the name, I'm guessing it was some sort of Korean Yakuza-like thing?
Weren't you once a member of the Tojo clan, Kasuga-san? I'm surprised you've never heard of the Jingon Mafia.
I was in the clink for a long time.
The Jingon Mafia and the Tojo clan clashed in the 1980s, long before you were serving time.
The 80s? Dude, that's 40 years ago. I was just a baby back then. Doubt I even had hair.
Yes, I had yet to be born myself. Regardless, early in the decade, the Tojo clan attacked the Jingon Mafia and massacred a great number of them. Around 30 or so.
30?
Back then, Kamurocho was the most sought-after territory in all of Asia. I've heard the conflicts for control were rather intense. The Tojo clan was incredibly strong, and they made sure it was a well-known fact.
Still, to off 30 of them is...
To get their revenge, the Jingon Mafia main arm in Korea sent even more members to Japan, some of them as undercover agents. But deception is a tricky business, and all who could not strike at the heart of the Tojo clan were considered failures and forbidden from returning. In the end, those that couldn't carry out the mission were abandoned and left without any place to go. One of them happened to be my father.
Then, you were born here, in Japan?
Yes, but be that as it may, I don't recall being welcomed here. I wasn't even accepted by any Korean communities either. My family was treated like slime and kicked out from wherever we went. We came to be called the Stray Jingon Mafia, running away whenever we were discovered.
Slimes who run away, huh? If you're slimes who run away, the reason they chase you is because you're worth tons of experience.
I get it. You're into video games, aren't you, Kasuga?
Yeah, I played a lot as a kid.
Well, you might be surprised to learn I am too. We should talk shop sometime.
Hell yeah! So, what happened to the Stray Jingon after that?
Enter the 21st century, the winter of 2006. Around the time I turned 20, the Jingon Mafia from the mainland made an all-out assault against the Tojo clan. But even as that happened, the Stray Jingon Mafia received not a word of warning. We were left completely in the dark. Our fathers were entirely forgotten by the countrymen that sent them here.
You don't say. I might know a guy who could sympathize with that.
Oh?
Yeah, he's right in front of you. I got tossed out by my family and locked up for 18 years.
Oh, that's right. That must be why I can't bring myself to hate you, Kasuga-san.
So, what happened to the Jingon's big all-out attack?
Despite their careful planning, they were ultimately crushed by the Tojo clan. Ironically, those that survived came from all over to join those of us in the Stray Jingon Mafia. It was a miserable sight. Both sides cut off from home and left with no choice but to band together in the social sewer of a country that wasn't theirs.
Sounds like you struggled. Wouldn't know it from looking at you, though.
I could say the same to you.
Yeah, finally starting to warm up to me?
It would seem so. I haven't been acting much like myself today. I had a great time drinking with you, Kasuga-san. I truly mean that.
So whatever happened to the real Junki Han? What's he up to now?
He revived the Jingon Mafia roughly 3 years ago, and at that time had taken over a considerable portion of Kamurocho. But he was shot in the head and killed. I was absent at the time.
And it all came crashing down, huh? Wait, Then that means... Can't you use your real name now? Why keep up the body double thing? You're not trying to become the real Jungi Han, are you?
Who can say? But that's none of your concern, is it, Kasuga-san? Or am I wrong?
Nah, you got me there.
Farewell.
Guess he's not the type to open up so easily. I'll just have to keep drinking with him.
Can I help you?
Congratulations! Do your best out there.
Let's do it!
Right.
I got this!
You're gonna be in a world of pain.
Out of my way! You think you can
Here we go. Try this on your side. This time. You're gonna get stomped.
Let's go.
Come on.
Going in.
I'm not backing down.
right. I'm ready now.
Sweet! Moving up in the world.
Yes. Yes.
Very well.
Does my father really need to attend to this Sotomori thing personally?
Yes. Remember, as acting captain, Arakawa is merely keeping the seed warm for Watase. Being there in person will be a show of respect and good faith.
Fine. But why am I just now hearing about this? I said I wanted to know if he so much as breathed somewhere outside his usual places.
My apologies, young master. I only just found out myself.
Really now? Well, all we can do now is wait and see.
Wait and see what, exactly?
Masaru Watase and Masumi Arakawa are finally meeting in person after how long? If I know my dad, they're not just gonna say hi and be on their merry ways.
I highly doubt they're plotting anything.
Isn't the Omi chairman still bedridden? I've heard it's terminal.
Yes, that's correct.
Then it's past time for a potential successor to be formally named.
Actually, it may not be that urgent yet. But then again, the chairman might say Watase's release from prison is a good time to step down.
And then Watase would become chairman, naturally. I'm sure his reign would be a very long one. But Omi history will take a very different course if, say, Watasi disappeared.
What?
I'm thinking dear old Dad might try to make it happen.
I don't know if that's Arakawa-san's style, exactly.
You don't think so? Remember when I asked Dad to sell out the Tojo clan during the 3K plan? Well, I never told him to bring in the Omi Alliance. He did that all on his own. I think it was a good decision, actually. Don't you?
Well, sure.
Thanks to him, the Tojo were driven out of Kamurocho. The 3K plan was a wild success, and my approval rating skyrocketed. I expected the Tojo clan to fall hard, but I didn't think some third-rate Tojo vermin like Dad could ever worm his way into their top ranks. Shrewd of him to do that during all the commotion. I thought he was a slow, antiquated Yakuza, and certainly not the type of man who could catch me off guard. Huh. I guess power really does corrupt, huh? Don't get me wrong. If Dad buries Watase and takes over the Omi Alliance, I benefit too. Having him there would be very convenient for me. There's just one thing that feels off.
What's that?
He hasn't told me about any plan to off Watasi at their meeting. That's evidence against my theory. I'll have to see what happens. If all they do is greet each other, I was wrong.
Look.
On the other hand, if he wastes Watase and still doesn't see fit to tell me, that would be a betrayal I cannot tolerate.
Arakawa-san won't betray you.
He better not. His little Yakuza club only has power because I extend it to them. I've come a long way since the Kamurocho 3K plan. I'm at the top of the political pyramid now, which means I need to know what's happening in the underworld. The hierarchy should be very clear at this point, and I expect people to fall in line. That's a matter of policy, and family is no exception. Sawashiro, between me and my father, to whom would you swear complete fealty?
Arakawa-san sent me to do as you command. His orders were to put you and your interests above everything else.
My interest is for you to watch his every move and report them to me.
Understood. I'll send Tendo to Osaka. He seems to have rapport with Arakawa-san.
Ah, Patriarch Tendo, when'd you get in?
Just this afternoon. Tomorrow, the captain's getting out of prison.
Oh, really?
Not something civilians like you need to worry about. The wise thing to do would be to mind your own business.
Is that a threat, sir? Don't joke like that, man. Your fists ought to require a weapons permit.
Say what now?
Nothing. I got work to do, just like you said. See ya.
Hey, can I get a refill over here?
Oh, make it 2.
Hey, Ichiban. You look like a teenage girl waiting for a text from her boyfriend. Put it down and relax. Have a drink with us.
Yeah, we're in Osaka after all.
Stop giving me shit! See, this is why I wanted to come alone.
Where are you going, Kasuga-san?
I bet it's not to take a leak. He hardly drank a sip.